Hi, my friends and family. My name's Trey, and this is Trey's Timeless Now, although I didn't bring the sign. But today I'm talking about two legs, are people two-legged cows stuck in survival. What can we do about that? In discussing the energetic reality of human life, a growing majority, in the future at least, of people will have noticed The Matrix is likely a documentary. As many teachers here on YouTube have ascertained and described, and as of all people, Jimi Hendrix said, this planet is a human farm, unfortunately. So, consider how accountable a normal person must be toward all their, more and more with the surveillance systems, toward all their actions, be totally transparent, honest, hardworking. And if you live here in California, unfortunately, often happy to be a literal wage or sleeping box slave. In this beautiful city of Santa Cruz, for example, if you weren't specialized or wealthy, working 3 jobs a week just to survive, serving all of your entire life, if you own property in California, oftentimes for private space, working and serving all of your life for that private space to sleep and to store your things and cook and have a fridge and a stove. Yet the controllers, the government, the 1%, robber barons, the elites, I call them in their off-world ET masters, the dark side, in other words, have no respect, no accountability, and they can just siphon or disappear billions and trillions of dollars into their black budget projects and all their ritual abuse. Billions and trillions of dollars are sunk into their permanent wars, control systems, and the insanity of weather warfare and space fence. Na, 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 na. Trey's Timeless Now was brought to you by Intuition. What will you do when you realize the tragedy that if you're in a small town, for example, or in a community like this where so many are just struggling to maintain the box? What if you were Truman? What if the Truman Show is also not a fiction but a depiction? Did you have an awakening experience and take the red pill only to discover everyone you know who is not enlightened or mostly enlightened or open to discernment or a master of their mental, physical, and spiritual bodies, fully clear and awakened? All of them are likely or all being used as cattle for the siphoning powerful energy vampires who are really ET black magicians who have no respect for their flocks, aside from usury or how they can use them, right? This is why the usury system they invented is so amazingly effective and talented at this. This is why rent, mortgages, taxes, and hierarchy and compliance are keys to them, and obedience and supplication to the anti-life master, to these anti-life masters is the key to the planetary take. As David Icke called his book, he put out a book that was called Humanity, Get Off Your Knees. Vampires can't live forever if they have no blood to drink. This is why, these same energy vampires came up with the idea of transhumanism. So cut off the source in you. Know that many, if not all, the resources the devils have stolen through killing, war, coercion, fear, rape, and satanic ritual abuse, humans can earn, receive, or ascertain from other respectful sources that won't put killing your soul and taking all of your duration or time in the details of the contract. But this is a large skill set. It takes a lot of skills to be in it and not of it, to be able to play capitalism games or be such a master forager or a master at animal husbandry or gardening that you don't need to fool with it. In short, how do you skillfully educate folks who would take the red pill or the blue pill that most humans have no free will if they cannot choose their decisions and their occupations, what they spend their life doing? How do you describe this? How do you help them to realize that they've turned into two-legged cattle or slaves, and understand the concept of gatekeepers and the massive promotion of possibly subtle misinformation? This is what they love, the big boys: subtle misinformation, the breadcrumbs of truth mixed in a sea of lies that leads you right back into the last cul-de-sac before enlightenment, as Mark Passio calls it, in perpetuity, unless you're really wise and discerning. Ultimately, we each will have to learn to take care of our souls, bodies, and minds. But 3D humans in the beast soul-sucking slavery system are just reduced to two-legged cows with no respect for anyone's freedom at all, or even knowledge that we are all the same, we are all one for actual certainty, and there is a mean farmer who's possibly about to harvest the meat, and an electric fence that is called the Nephilium reversal grid, electrostatic fence, and actually around the planet, just like in the Truman Show, and these have been hidden so long that many don't even believe they exist. Okay. Thus, and this is how talented, again, that Lucifer has been at mind control, thus keeping the obedient and the faithful and the atheist alike stuck in the invisible farmer's traps, soul trap. Once again, full discernment, disclosure, and awareness is the key. Those are some of the biggest keys. Some have made holes, supposedly, in the matrix. Some have put soul and balance into capitalism, and figured out a way to earn money in the system by only that was harmless, such as this concept of B corporations, not hurting anyone, only serving others. By being sovereign, they can earn in a respectful, balanced way. Like artisans with no middlemen do not feed the evil farmers. There are a few or a few hundred freed slaves and humans who are no longer two-legged cattle to show us the way. Are you one of them? How would you tell them? Survival is the beast mode. How do you share oneness with folks fighting each other to survive? They're still caught in this, the Decepticon scam that the big boys have been funding all, under these evil ETs, been funding both sides of all the wars for hundreds of years. How do you share oneness with folks fighting each other to survive? How do you teach humans to stop being farm animals and regain, or even want to regain, individuation? You are not a cow. You have a divine blueprint. And really following only this in respect, harmlessness, discernment, and clarity, you will feed eventually only the real divine, not the dark ETs, parasites. You will feed only the really divine, the actual sacred Christ, eventually. Thank you. It's complicated when you see that the mainstream media is literally the farmer's intercom system, basically, for the two-legged cows. The two-legged cows originally, and when you figure out that they originally had free will, and some still do, and also that the obvious truth that martyrs were used as controlled opposition to try to terrify you out of your free will, and that wealthy and free-ish two-legged cows often obey the narratives of everything the dark farmers told them, just to stay in the frequency electric fence, eat grass, and don't think, to keep their riches. Santa Cruz did an experiment allowing people, and it turned out, unfortunately, I guess most of them were on meth, heroin, liquor, but they allowed people to build a village on the lawn of the courthouse, and this I feel was another controlled opposition experiment as to subconsciously to say to the people of Santa Cruz, you should get to work and work 3 or 4 jobs if you're not specialized, because if you don't pay for your box, you got to live in this squalor and this, you can't tell a cow that they are free. You can entertain them, you can show examples, and you can teach freedom and awareness and discernment skills. As Gandhi said, you can attempt to be the change you want to see, but you can't tell them anything. Awakening is an inherently inside job, and it must be done yourself, DIY. If you enjoyed this, if you haven't already, click subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, let me know what you thought. And if you'd like a deeper red pill into the gnarly side, check me on odyssey.com. That's ODYSEE.com. And I wish nothing but peace, love, and respect to my human family. And if you have the courage and the desire, I believe, I be truth, that you can and will create a great one. Loving your family.